From the NBC Tower in downtown Chicago, AEW has secured a strong TV future for themselves with Warner Media. A WWE Hall of Famer has passed away. There's so much breaking news with NXT, and a UFC champion is in the Royal Rumble, and it's not Brock Lesnar. AEW and NXT going head-to-head tonight on television. We're going to get into the Bash of the Beach and so much more. If you're with us live, share the link. The show is free. All you have to do is just pass it on. Do the honorable thing, the Ring of Honor, Code of Honor. Give me the shake the hands. You got to shake that hand here. Shake my hand. Feel the power.
I feel it, Kevin.
You're feeling the power, Robert. I'm Kevin Kellam. I'm joined, as always, by my faithful friend who looks like Seth Rollins, but is not Seth Rollins. Okay? He puts the A in Tampa Bay.
I don't know if anybody's ever said that about me or will ever say that about me again, but thank you, Kevin. I am sitting here near Tampa.
Near Tampa, in the greater Tampa region. If you're with us for the first time, shout out where you're from. Mike Manchurian, he's from Boston, Massachusetts. All right, his Patriots didn't do too good in the playoffs there. One and done there. So, all right, we will get into all of the news of the day. We'll start off with our big breaking news story that broke just about a few hours ago. A lot of news on today's show. We will cover all of it here, including the big addition to the Royal Rumble today, everything with the passing of Rocky Johnson, everything with AEW Bash at the Beach, and WWE NXT tonight. So a lot to touch on today's edition of the show. Thank you for all the new viewers. Once again, if you're with us for the first time, shout out where you are watching the show. AEW confirming today, great news for them, just 3 months into their TV deal with TNT and Warner Media, that their TV contract has been extended through 2023. The reported number is around $45 million per deal, $175 million deal. The addition of a second TV program under the Warner Media umbrella. Now, let it be known, we do not know where that second show will air, whether or not it'll air on TNT or the other channels that Warner has, which include True TV, TBS, and others. They also have the upcoming HBO Max digital offering, which is a digital streaming service similar to Netflix or Disney Plus. You pay a little bit more money, you get a bunch of extra shows on it. It isn't clear where the show is going to end up here. So this is a big move by them, and certainly one, if you're an AEW fan, you're one of those fans, it's like AEW rules and WWE sucks. I mean, this is a day where you're going to get online, you're going to drop your memes in the feed.
Well, I immediately jumped to, okay, we're getting a TBS show. My brain said we're getting a TBS show, and then I went and read the press release, and I saw the words HBO Max, and I said there's probably some money in an HBO Max exclusive. Now, we don't know. This could be AEW explosion on True TV. We don't know. This could be anything. But this is definitely big news for AEW. I believe Dave Meltzer reported it's a deal worth $175 million. So good news for them. Kudos to them. It's exciting for wrestling, Kevin. It never stops.
Never stops. Of course, some new people joining us from Halifax, Nova Scotia, Southern California. I don't know why I said Southern California in an Australian accent, Canadian accent, but yeah. Anyway, appreciate everyone joining us here. But AEW, huge news for them. Here's why this happened. I'm just going to break it down here, and I'm being a media person here. All right. Working in 101 WKQX. This is my media hat on. Wrestling hat off, media hat on. They're scoring in their demographic. This is a show that's scoring very successfully in a male 18 to 49 demographic week in and week out. The rating they have is, obviously people say for the majority of the ratings, it's 1.2 is their average. That isn't what they're doing week to week. They've had some softer weeks, right?
Correct.
But you can't deny what they're doing in 7 days. Their DVR numbers are really, really strong. So that's a really strong thing here. I think also this is a company that has a TV deal in Europe with a contractor out there. What's the one I'm trying to think of here? Sky
ITV.
ITV. Excuse me. So you have ITV in England. You can kind of leverage that deal and get some more things going here. Now you also have the show on in Canada. So the American deal is kind of affected by that. There's been some setbacks, but you can't deny they're the big breakout story of 2020, coming into 2019. They have a lot of talent, they have strong branding, and they have a cult following. They're going to sell it in an arena at the end of February in Chicago. This is the third time. This is the third time they've done that.
Now, I think that they have definitely increased their amount of detractors, but that happens when you enter new plateaus.
What do you think here? How does this kind of change things? Do you think this affects them in the? I mean, obviously it affects them in the long run. But now you're going to have an additional television show, and also AEW Dark, their YouTube series, that's not going away. So they're going to be taping 4 hours of content every Wednesday. Apparently, you get 2 hours on live TV, 2 hours for tape programming. So maybe this other show is going to be an hour. It's unclear. There's a lot that's unclear about this. We don't know where the second show is going to land. If the show is going to be in-ring based, if it's not going to be in-ring based. But certainly they have a roster depth that they can rely on to use for other shows. And I do think they do have that. Other people say, their women's division is softer than WWE, and there's always those comparisons. But I mean, there's a lot of guys they have that have not been utilized a whole lot on television just because I don't think they have the time to do it.
I think at some point you're going to get an AEW secondary show. I don't think this will be like their SmackDown or anything. Would be nice if it was, because I think as much as you want to have guys who are, not overexposed, some talent could use more exposure. So maybe it's time for them to do a second major show. I wouldn't want this to be a dark, but on TV. I would like this to be a secondary major show that advances storylines and takes a little bit of the heat off of the Wednesday Night War, Do
you think this takes heat off the Wednesday Night War in the sense that they're in this proverbially for the long haul now?
Yes. It changes the game. This is no longer the Wednesday AEW versus NXT. This is AEW as a major platform, the only major platform outside of WWE that has more than one weekly show on global television and nationally here in NBC and TNT.
Robert Ray texting and saying it's the top show up in Canada.
So damn right it is.
Fans enjoying it up there. So I'm going to say this. I know everyone thinks that NXT is in a bad position now, right? That things have shifted so quickly once again that NXT is in a bad spot. I'm going to say I don't think they are. And there's several reasons why. Once again, the media hat is on. You can point at the ratings and say that they're not, those overnight ratings aren't there, but the digital numbers are. The digital numbers for how people watch the show on YouTube do attribute to a TV deal, and it does show the strength of the show. Also, a lot of people do DVR the show. It does need, and I know the comparisons between AEW and NXT are going to happen a whole lot. It does happen quite often here. People think, they're signing a new TV deal. You're in trouble. You're this. Guess what? WWE has a long war chest to people. And I think there's things they haven't done with NXT that they can still very much do. There's a lot of things they can still really, really do with NXT that they haven't done yet. And we could see them do a lot of things that they haven't done and can still be done. And on top of it, there's a lot of fans, you talk to them and they watch both shows and they want AEW to be successful, but it sets them off and they enjoy NXT. I mean, there's a lot of fragmented followings here. But then there's certainly the people that are like, I just want AEW to be successful because it's not WWE.
Yeah. A lot of the fan gaga, the nonsense that we have to hear every day, I think overtakes and overshadows the fact that they're doing something really unprecedented. I think everybody's always trying to count out one of the promotions already when it's just AEW's doing something really cool. They're doing something that hasn't been seen since the year 2001 when WCW had Thunder and Saturday Night. They're getting more shows, and that's a good thing.
Matt Pessel texting in saying AEW is fresh meat while WWE is Looney Tunes show.
Can we just hold on? Mike McKeon, Machern, The Rock didn't die. The Rock's father passed away.
We'll cover that.
I know. I just wanted to immediately address that in the comments. Somebody said RIP to The Rock. Rock didn't die. Just so we're clear.
No, just so we're clear. We had to deal with that on social media before the show. So that's something we had to deal with as well, just to make it clear here. But David Day bringing it in saying, this is a good point, Dave. The big winner are the fans.
I'm so sick of that, right? I think that specific phrasing of you guys, it's okay.
Yeah, but it's true.
It's true. But it's so cheesy.
It's so cheesy, but it's so appropriate. It's true. I mean, if you're an AEW fan and you stood by them, this is great news. You know what I mean? If you bought tickets to All In and you were there at the start, and you're all about, I'm going to buy the merch and have the t-shirt. If you're faithful to them and you're a hardcore wrestling fan, here's 175 million reasons why you supporting that show was the right thing to do.
That's right. And I think it's only onward and upward. And now we know that AEW will at least be a thing for the next 3 years. Yeah. We have that confirmation.
Mm-hmm. And also if you're an NXT fan, I don't think they're going to be rushed off television. I know immediately when this news came out, people are rushing to the conclusion that NXT can't air on Wednesday nights anymore. It can't now that they have this long-term TV deal. It can't happen. All right.
What do you mean? Why? Why can't it happen?
Oh, because they have this TV deal, so you guys are done. Where was that resolution?
Who's done? What do you mean by done? I don't understand that. That's what I'm talking about. Who's dying off here? It's a WWE product. It's not going to die unless Vince pulls the plug.
There's some people that say it could get canceled, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Canceled by who? USA was the #1 ranked cable network, and you know why? Because it's WWE. It certainly isn't the Law and Order SVU reruns that they show every day and all day. It's WWE.
I want more WWE Law and Order SVU crossovers. You know what I mean? I want to see that. Make Bray Wyatt one of the creepy guys in that show. I bet he can pull it off. All right, here. So already people are jumping in here saying, David Dade, I'll also follow it up here. I'm a Brit, and I really enjoyed NXT UK TakeOver and really enjoyed AEW. See, you're enjoying everything. See, we say enjoy wrestling at the end of the show, don't we? Why can't you enjoy all this stuff?
And David Dade is out here living the motto. It's not just words to him. He's enjoying the wrestling, and I'm with it.
Mm-hmm. Graham Parker, once again, more of a UK take here. The big picture in the UK is AEW is on free-to-air channel, and WWE is not. It's on BT Sports, which is nowhere near as popular as Sky Sports. AEW will take over WWE in the UK. Well, Graham, I'm going to tell you that's not the case, and here's why. WWE tours there regularly and has a live base, live attendance, live events. Also, Graham, I can tell you this as well. If WWE announced there was a WrestleMania or a WrestleMania level event in Europe,